Hey Kelly, I'd like you to introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about your history as an entrepreneur and why you want to bring a bicycle accessory to market.
Sure. My name is Kelly Ball. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've owned several businesses. I'm a designer, and I also own an Amazon store where we sell products related to well-being, wellness, innovation, and fun. A couple of years ago, back in 2018, my husband and I were at the park with our children and watching some young children learning how to ride their bikes, learning how to do the hand signals for left and right and stop. And it was very apparent that they were wobbly when they took one hand off their handlebars. And it just seemed counterintuitive to be taking a hand off your handlebar to make a signal. There had to be a better way. So we went back home that night, did a bit of research, and we found that in 2018, there was 897 deaths due to cycling or cyclists and cars colliding. And that obviously was only the deaths, not even the accidents, and it just it seemed that was actually double what the deaths were in work-related injuries or work-related deaths.
Okay, but why now? Why did it take you 3 years to create this?
Well, initially we developed a prototype that was basically just an LED strip along the back of a helmet that worked well, but upon doing market research, we discovered that there really wasn't a market, and having to create a market is a very, very costly adventure. So we had to shelf the product and sit on it for a little bit. But a year ago, the market is now there. Some larger companies have come out with full helmets, smart helmets, and they're mainly geared towards the sports enthusiasts, but they're very expensive. They're a couple $100 for a full helmet. And we went back to the drawing board and redesigned our design. Our design is just an accessory that's attached to any helmet. It can be a child's helmet, an adult helmet, a sports enthusiast, a casual rider, and it's attached with a very strong adhesive strip on the back that's weatherproof, so it can be removed and added to another helmet should the rider upgrade or change helmets. And this accessory is a fraction of the price of the helmets that are on the market right now.
I mean, it sounds awesome, but why launch during a pandemic? Why not wait it out?
Well, during the pandemic is actually the perfect time. So bicycle sales went up incredibly during the pandemic. From January to November, the sales were $4.9 billion in the US, and many of the stores ran out of bicycles. More and more people are cycling. They don't want to use public transportation, so they're using their bicycles. Also, a lot more people are using their bicycles as a form of exercise because their gyms are closed. So cycling has gone up exponentially, and even though there have been a reduction in the number of cars on the road during the pandemic, during the heat of the pandemic, the number was still really high of collision deaths, cyclists and motorists colliding, and that number was still, I think it was 697.
A number of those were children too, I would venture.
Yeah, 70 of them were children.
But weren't these deaths related to them not wearing a helmet?
Certainly some of them were. And we can't control who decides to wear a helmet and be safe and who decides to not wear a helmet. Our focus is about keeping that, the person who does decide on safety, who does wear a helmet, making them even more safe by increasing their visibility. This, our product, which is called You See Me, is visible to 200 meters away. So while the rider is riding and not stopping or turning, there's an LED red light strip that's constantly going. So there is a lot more visibility than without it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Can you tell me a little bit about the You See Me product? What is it?
Sure. So the UCMe product is a pair of devices. This is a remote control, and it attaches to the handlebars, and it has a left and a right turn signal. I'm going to turn this around properly here. And in this is a small lithium battery that that is rechargeable, and it goes to sleep when you don't see any lights on here. It goes to sleep. The battery can last for several months, maybe even the entire bike season, depending on how frequently it's being used. When the cyclist wants to turn left, they hit the left button, and now you'll see on the left side of the helmet the scrolling lights indicating that they're turning left, and in an orange, which is the color for the signals. When we want to go right, same thing. So the cyclist can see that it's actually working, and it's sending that signal to the back of this helmet, and now it's scrolling to the right. When you want to stop, we've put an accelerometer inside the device, and when it recognizes that the cyclist is slowing down, it sends this signal back to the helmet, and now you have full red on, showing that the cyclist is stopping. In this part of the helmet, there is also a rechargeable LED battery. However, this one does not hold its charge as long, because LED lights take up a lot of battery. So it will have to be charged about every 6 to 8 hours of use.
Very smart. Can you tell me about the scrolling lights, though? Aren't they distracting?
No, not really. You will see that in a lot of the newer cars on the road that they do have those scrolling lights. In fact, you see them more than you do see a static light. So we've chosen to mimic exactly what the cars are doing, or what the new car developers are doing in terms of the lights. So orange for left and right, and red for your stopping.
Awesome. So why launch a Kickstarter campaign?
Well, first and foremost, to keep people safe. We believe that visibility is really, really important in keeping people safe on the roads. And the Kickstarter will help us determine the product viability, to see if there is a market for it. And it will also help us. It will give us some design feedback to see what the Kickstarter community and the sponsors tell us, that maybe we need to change certain things, and we can certainly go through and do that. And it will give us some ideas in terms of supply chain, and hopefully some product credibility.
So what happens if the Kickstarter fails? If your campaign fails, what then?
Well, if it fails, we will take the feedback that we've been given. We'll make the modifications to UCMe if we need to make modifications. This product will come to market. We'll launch it in another way. We hope that the campaign will be successful. We believe that it's a product that will increase safety and save lives. But we'll come to market one way or another.
Thank you for your time, Kelly.
You're welcome.